Toronto police are releasing new details today about their investigation into that wild shootout that happened outside a downtown recording studio back in November. Ali Chiasson is at police headquarters, and Ali, police announcing even more arrests in this case. But let's start with that new video investigators shared.
That's right, Chris. So this was a huge story when it happened because of the sheer number of people involved, the number of guns that they had on them, and the level of violence. And all of that you can see at play in this surveillance footage that police released today. So you are looking at a birthday party that was happening inside of this recording studio on Queen West. And you can see people just so casually walking around with guns. They've got them on their lap, they're passing them around, and some of them are even posting to social media, waving the firearms around. But they get ambushed by another, as police allege, rival gang, which starts firing their guns from outside the club and into where this party is happening. So this gun battle goes on for several minutes, and unbelievably, nobody is injured, although a police cruiser was caught in the crossfire. Police arrested 23 people that night, and Project Poppy was really launched from there. So today, police announced that they have arrested an additional 14 suspects, and the investigation is ongoing. They are looking for 9 others who remain at large. Considering how brazen this was, it did beg the question of how often are police arriving at scenes like this where there are so many guns at play. Here's what Inspector Paul Krawczyk had to say to that.
The reality is there were police officers there that night that were brave, got involved, got caught in the crossfire, and the quick response is what allowed us to be there right away, obviously, and make arrests, and people have to get rid of their guns. This is happening across the city, right? There are people that are getting together that have guns, that everyone's showing up practically with a gun. The reality is we got there quick, and that's why we have so many in this instance. But I'm not going to stand up here today and say this is a complete rare instance, because I don't personally believe it is, unfortunately.
So to give you an idea, a little bit more on who these suspects are, they range in ages from as young as 16 years old up to 30 years old. Some of them are from Toronto, others are from Peel. And that 16-year-old that I mentioned, he was arrested last night and was also charged with murder for a homicide that happened earlier in the year. Now, police allege that this was a gang battle between 2 rivals, and we asked them if they could name the gangs, and the inspector had an interesting answer for that.
I'm not up here to give them any notoriety whatsoever. I don't want to say their names. They don't deserve it, and quite frankly, I don't see the purpose. We know who they are, and that's the most important thing, but I'm not going to name them.
So remember that police arrested 23 suspects that night. It's important to note that 5 of those people who were charged had their charges stayed, and police explained that because they had reason to arrest as many people as they could on scene, but in the early days of the investigation, they found that they may not have had involvement. So Project Poppy still very much ongoing, with 9 suspects still outstanding. Chris.
And yet already so many new details today. Ali, thank you very much for all that.